In the first part of advanced behavioral change, we began to look at a case study. We looked at proactive strategies and how we can teach children before the hard times come, and we can give them the skills and the tools and the connection that they need in order to face that challenge in their environment. You'll remember that we talked about the balance between structure and nurture. And we talked about needing to ask ourselves, do I lead this time with my structure or with my nurture? But that immediately the other foot would have to follow in order for us to be in balance, gaining trust, and making headway in teaching children the skills that they need to know. We also talked about the question, how high we set the bar. And in that circumstance, we talked about historical information on a child's life that would influence how high the bar could go. And then we talked about current information, what's been happening in terms of their physical needs, their emotional needs in the recent moments or hours before a situation came up. Primarily, in the first part of this lesson, we talked about proactive strategies, and our goal in this second part is to take the same child, Taija, who we've already told you was a very high-risk child. Her older brother had already had to go to long-term residential care because of similar strategies that she was exhibiting. So while we're purposed to teach children through play and nurture and laughter and joy and connection, we always know that for the higher risk children, there are going to always be the days that will need to lead with structure, that will need to be responsive and need to deal with the behavior with a little more firmness. In this lesson, we want to look at 4 clips of Taija. In this first clip, Taija Day 8, the clip will say, what you need to know is that it had been a difficult day for her in many ways. We didn't get to go to the swimming pool, and you can see at the end of the day she's still carrying her swimming pool towel around. We didn't get to have a nap, which the kids usually get some rest time. And she didn't have her favorite snack. Now, all of those are changes from the norm. All of those represent transitions. All of those represent disappointment of being told no repeatedly. On top of all of that, one child in camp who had had a behavioral meltdown at Sunday school on the weekend prior to this day, that child had been told by the authorities that she would need to be sent to long-term residential facility care. And our children were told on the 8th day of camp that that little girl was unable to come back to camp. So for this child, physical needs had not been met in the way that she expected them to be met. And she was deeply saddened by the loss of a friend in camp. And she did what was common for this child, either to explode or to fold. And on this day, she was folding. Now, the experience of the parents was when they tried to get her out of a fold, that she would become volatile and explosive. And so we're working at what has the potential of becoming a very high-risk situation by trying to meet the needs. So we're going to be asking ourselves, and I'd ask you as you look at these clips, to be considering several things. With each clip, try to figure out or try to be aware of what is the driver in this child's meltdown. How can the caregiver find and meet the need or satisfy that driver? How can we give this child a voice and meet her needs through giving her voice? How can the adult engage eye contact, voice, body posture, body position, matching, touch. How is it that the adult is entering the child's space to connect with her even in this situation? And how can we give this sense of felt safety so this little girl knows that her needs are going to be met and that it matters to us that her needs are met, that she has efficacy, what she asks for makes a difference. Again, remember, one of our mantras with children is, can you please use your words and not your behavior to tell me what you need? This is Taija in a behavioral collapse at the end of camp on our 8th day together.
Makes me kind of sad. Kind of makes me kind of sad, baby.
What's going on, sweetie? It's used to be when it's okay.
Max today.
We're tired. What brought up? What's...
Oh, discussion over a green towel, whether it was ours or not.
Okay.
And then how we were going to ask with respect for water.
Okay. So let me tell you a couple things about Taija, about today. I think Taja's got a lot of sadness. We were going to go to the pool and we got back from the horses too late. And Taija, you did a good job of using your words with me, didn't you, honey? You told me all about it. She really wanted to go to the pool. We've been taking the big girls to the pool because they're such good swimmers. And so that was really sad for her. And this afternoon we talked about Alexis is not going to get to come back to camp.
Yeah.
And we're all very, very sad about that, aren't we, honey? We have a lot of sadness about that. And we all talked about it together.
Sadness. Alexis and Taija know each other from other camps.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They've gone to some other camps
I
together.
didn't know that. Well, Taija, on Monday, honey, I've got that book for Alexis that we can still go through and look at the pictures some more, okay? Because we're really sad. And we want to talk about it as long as you want to, okay? I think she'll probably need a lot of nurture this weekend. I know she's exhausted. We had a long day. We usually get a quiet time in the afternoon with a movie or something. We didn't today. Can you tell me what we need to get for you? I think she'll probably go to sleep going home.
Yeah, well, I brought some pillows in the van. And stuff.
Do you need to take something like a Tootsie Roll and suck on it to calm going home? Would that help? You think that would help? Can you give me some words? Can you tell me what you need? I'll get it for you. What are you thinking, darling? Can you get it? Is it Alexis you're mostly tired? Are you just mostly sad? Are you mostly tired? What is it mostly? Do you want some of those? Sure. I think that's a good idea. With what color is your favorite? Okay. Did you have an afternoon snack too, or do you want to take something in the car? Okay, come on, darling. Okay, now here's the deal. You know that safe people will always listen to you, and I'll always try to do what you need. So Miss Karen's a safe person, okay? If I put some in here, let's see, Daddy, are we pretty good at regular? Or should we just like make a little shish kebab?
Probably a little shish kebab would be a
Gonna
good
make a shish
idea.
kebab, and maybe Sister want to make one. Here, why don't you get about 6 of these and put them on a shish kebab? How would that be? Or do we have the right colors? Okay. You know what you have to do is practice with your words, okay? I will meet your need. You just have to tell me what you need, okay? Truthfully. and I think maybe a little sad. So you practice using words with Daddy this weekend? Hey, good girl. Now, will you try to work on respect even though you're tired? Okay. Do you have a hug for Miss Karyn? Good girl. All right. I think Sister's probably going to want one of these. You want to make one for Sis? All right. We'll maybe make the same thing, okay? You're going to have to work on your respect, though, because you're going to be tired. I think the other end is easier to put it on. I don't know. One potato.
Teddy bear.
Oh, is that yours from home, darling?
Yeah.
Sister's making you a shish kebab. This is like steak and potatoes on the grill. 4 potatoes.
Friday and then Saturday.
5 potatoes. 6 potatoes. Nice work. All right, darling. I'll see you guys on Monday, okay? Is this yours? What do you need?
So now remember, we've talked about the fact that a child who comes from fetal exposure to substance has changes in the insulin receptor sites. So one of the things that you're going to know is food is huge for these kids. Matter of fact, many of this particular girl's meltdowns were over food. So because of her sensitivity for the fluctuations in blood sugar, we just loaded 6 pieces of candy of the little lifesavers, but her dad also had another snack and water and pillows and a blanket in the car for her. Remember, too, that for a child who's had a meltdown and is maybe exhausted, a little bit of sugar will help begin to regulate their blood sugar back up. And for a child who's in an emotional behavioral fold, a piece of candy that has a bright taste, a bright flavor to it, like a loud cherry sort of, I don't know that you could call cherry loud, but a bright flavor, a flavor that is kind of bursts in their mouth, or a scent like orange scent. Those kinds of scents and flavors that are sweet and or that are kind of striking will bring a child out of a fold. So a small amount of candy can be a good aid, a strong aid. Now, I want to show you another clip. And again, remember, food is a major thing for this child. So in the second clip on day 10, again, it's about food. And so watch as one of our co-directors in the camp that year, Dr. Mandy Howard, gets Taja to use words and averts a meltdown. You will see that the 2 buddies are holding the child's arms because she had begun to become aggressive. So let's watch this brief clip.
Your words and tell me what you want, sweetheart. What you need. Give me eyes. Come on. Come on, baby. What do you need? Use your words. Why are you upset? Can you use your words, please? No? I don't know what you need unless you tell me. You gotta use your words. You're hungry? All right, maybe we should get some low blood sugar. Maybe we need to go get some snacks. All right, let's go get a snack. That's all we needed. That was good using your words, sweetheart.
Let's wash our hands first.
Yeah, probably wash your hands first. That was much less chaotic than I thought it was gonna be.
And we had actually had a small animal in the camp that afternoon practicing gentle and kind, and so they went to wash their hands before a snack. In all 3 of these clips, the 2 that you've seen and the one that you're about to see, the bar is very low. Now remember, when a child gets into a terrible fold and they're just completely depressed, completely in a hole, they may not be able to work with you very well. They may not be able to use many words. We might get a grunt or a point, and at that stage, that is enough. Again, remember, in these first 3 clips, you're going to see exceedingly low bars. The same is true in this clip that follows. Again, we have a meltdown with Taja. It involves, again, food. A student or a child in your home, a youth in your facility that has had fetal exposure to substance, we're going to have to be very attentive to the blood sugar issues because insulin changes. So again, here's another working towards preventing a full meltdown with a child who has dramatic changes in her insulin receptor sites because of fetal exposure to alcohol.
Would you try to find something that's okay for you, and we'll get your favorite for afternoon? Is that fair enough? Is that fair enough, darling? Yes. Is that fair enough? All right, darling. Good job. Good compromise.
Find something in there.
I bet you there's something hidden away that you can pull out.
Maybe. Let's go look in the back. Are we being respectful with our body?
As long as this chair back over here where it goes.
Taija, look at me. It's nice. Taija. Let's see your whole face. You're not being very respectful. Let's see your smile.
Okay, you know what I want us to do? Let's go in the bathroom mirror. I want you to look at this face with me and see where that beautiful smile went. So you know how gorgeous you look when you're smiling. Come here. All right. Y'all go stand in front of the mirror and look. Look, sweetie. Look at the face. I just want you to see. Look, see? Look, look. Look, baby. Look, see? If you can use words, we can hear what you say, but that's a kind of a mean face, isn't it? Just practice smiling and look at how beautiful you are. I just want you to see. Can you try? You need to use words with me. Are you asking for a compromise? Hey, you asking for a compromise? We need to use words. It's not okay just to fold up, because people can't help you if you fold up. I'll do anything, let me see. I'll do anything I can to get you what you need, but you have to help me know what it is. Okay? Okay. So look at this beautiful girl. With big, beautiful eyes. And a gorgeous smile that lights up the room when she smiles. Okay? So, what is the problem right now? We're going to try to get your favorite snack this afternoon. What's the problem right now? Are you disappointed? Yeah. Is there anything at all? What is it that you're really wanting? If you want to make a guess at what you wanted, what would it be? Would it be SpaghettiOs? No. It wouldn't be like baby worms, would it? Because I got some of those I feed my birds. Taisha, we can do two things, sweetie. We can sit and think it over until you can use words, or you can tell me and I'll try to help you figure it out. Our goal is for you to tell us what you need and we'll do our best to help you meet it. Stand up, please, honey. We can't just go away when things get bad. Is it mostly disappointed about the snack? Yeah. Would you try to go with your buddy and try to find something back there you want? Okay, now let me see this eyes. Look here, sweetie. You're going to have to cooperate with us, okay? Because if you just fold up, we can't help you, okay? Our goal is to help you get what you need. But you have to help us, okay? Would that work? Okay, do I need to go with you, or can you do it with your buddies? You think you could do it with buddies, or do I need to go with you? Okay, let's go. Come on, we'll go see what we can find. I'll bet you there's something back here for big girls that we like. All right, so let's see what we can find. Come back here and see. I've got some kind of I don't know what these are. Let me see if these are back here. I have some kind of I don't know, like a Twizzler. Are you a Twizzler eater? Okay. Would that work for a snack? Would that work for a snack?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to take a couple of those. But tell you what, since there's not enough for everybody, is that okay? Let me see, I snack. There's not enough for everybody, so would you mind sitting back here to finish your snack? Okay, would y'all like to have a Twizzler with her? No? Okay, why don't y'all sit down and look buddies? Okay?
Miss Karyn, can we tell her that for our afternoon snack she's not allowed to have sugar? Because she's not.
Okay, so is that what we're going to have cheese crackers this afternoon, okay? So what we're trying to do, let me tell you what happened. A lot of the mothers said, my kids are having too much sugar. Please don't give them so much sugar. So we said, well, we'll try. But we have to have a little sugar because we're at camp, right? Yeah, we need a little sugar. So we'll have a fruit snack or smoothie this afternoon, or cheese crackers. Do you like the cheese crackers with the soft cheese and the sticks? Is that your favorite? Okay, we'll have that. Okay, I just need one thing from you. I just need either a hug or a word. Which one could I have? Good job. All right. If you guys, y'all want to
Thank you.
thank you. You're welcome, Angel. All right, you guys, why don't you all just have a little powwow right there and finish your snack up, and then come on back in the other room, okay? All right. Fair enough.
Right? If you really want something, you need to tell us. Okay? Is yours? Is that okay? Alright.
So in this situation, you see that we had the wrong snack. And because food is such a major issue for this child, she had a fold. And then she was able to make a compromise about having a different snack, but she didn't even get a few paces away from me until she started to fold again. Now remember, a child who's got profound depression may not be able to give you very much. So you saw me try to modulate the bar down, till I could get something, and then the bar came back up a little bit. So she couldn't smile when I asked her to see the gorgeous girl in the mirror. She couldn't compromise. She couldn't seem to use her words. I said, well, if you could tell me what you want for a snack, use your words. And she just shook her head no. And I said, could you just make a guess? Sometimes when you ask a child what they're feeling and they say, I don't know, and you say, could you just make a guess? They know you're really sincere about hearing them, so they'll tell you. In this case, that didn't work with her, so I kept lowering the bar until I got some level of cooperation with her. But then you'll see that I did raise the bar a little, and ultimately we got the train moving again. Remember, in terms of what we talk about, we want to keep the train moving, and we want to keep that kiddo on the train with us, because our goal is to tuck that kiddo up under our wing and teach them how to succeed in life and how to know how precious they are. One reason I took her to the mirror, I hoped I could see her beautiful face and that she could see her beautiful face. That was definitely responsive. Proactive would be taking her in there on a time when she was already smiling and saying, look at this beautiful girl. In this case, I'm trying to say, let's see if we can find the beautiful girl. Also, a lot of the kids don't know how they look when they fold, because again, the region of the brain that helps them recognize how they're feeling and what they look like, and that sort of executive functioning actions are lost to our kids if they've had trauma, abuse, or substance exposure. So mirror work can be very powerful. In this final clip, you're going to see a very, very high bar. Now, the reason the bar is very high for the child in this clip is that I know that her needs have been met. She's been having a great day. She's had food every 2 hours. We got to do the schedule as usual. There were no unexpected transitional changes. Food, water, sensory activities, a lot of emotional needs, a lot of nurturing, a lot of play. And at the last moment, about 10 minutes before a group activity, she wanted to do an art activity and had a bit of a fold over something we didn't know what she wanted. She had some time to do an activity, but she couldn't tell us what it was. And so what you're going to see, you've seen her all through camp. You've seen a great deal of proactive strategies. You've seen her with responsive strategies, day 8, day 10, day 13. This is day 18 of camp. She knows Miss Karyn. I've built trust. I've built relationship. I've been responsive and proactive with her. I've helped her solve problems. I believe that because I know her history, I have earned her trust. And I believe because I know the events of the day, because I'm in the room with all 12 children all day long, every day, and I've observed her all day, I believe that she can handle a high bar, and I'm going to press to get the high bar. I'm going to balance, structure, and nurture. And I'm going to press to get what I believe fairly I can ask for, reasonably, honestly, I can ask for. I never want to ask a child for what I don't think they can give me. So in this day, day 18, let's see Taja in a high bar.
You want me to help you? I'll help you. Come on, we'll do it together. I don't know what you need.
Miss Mandy, I wonder where you don't want to find them? You want to just do something else?
Sort of.
We're ready to use our words, Miss Mandy. We'll come find you, okay?
Okay, that's fine. I'll be ready to hear them when you guys are ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We doing okay?
Yeah. We're just trying to work on using our words to ask what we need.
Not a word thing.
Let me see, Ice. We got to use words. Okay, please sit up here and talk to me. You can regulate yourself or I will help you. Okay, please sit up like I am, okay? Let's talk. Come on, like Miss Karyn. Sit up right here, Miss Karyn. Atta girl. Sit up, right here. Okay, give me hands. Now, let me see eyes. We have to use some words, and I'll listen to anything you say, so people can understand what you need, what you feel, and what you want. Okay? So, I thought you were going to go do some crafts.
We were looking for our artwork.
Yeah?
And,
Could you not find it?
No, we were going to ask Miss Mandy, but she didn't want to ask Miss Mandy. She wanted me to ask for her, and I told her, well, she has to use her words, and I would help her, but I wasn't going to do it for her.
Okay. Let's see. I like that little leg. Can you bring that leg back for me? Okay, so how about if I help you with you? All the way back. All the way. Good girl. I know it's hard, buddy. Sit up. Sit up. You have to use words. You can regulate her. Miss Karen's going to regulate you. No. Right here. Right here. No. Sit right up. We can't let her run away. She's got to participate. Taja, turn around here, please. Right here. No, sweetie. Turn around here, right here. Come here. Give me hands. Fix your legs like Miss Karen. Do your legs like Miss Karen. Good girl. Now, are you ready to ask Miss Mandy for your art? No? Okay, we need to use words. Words are what's going to help people know what you need and want. We can't help you if we don't. You sit up, please. Daddy's going to be here for you. Daddy's going to be here for you. Okay? Daddy's going to be here for you. So here's Miss Mandy. Do you want to ask her? Sit up, please. Okay, now, because Daddy's here, we're learning to use your words. Okay, please give me a hand. You can be with Daddy in just a second. Okay? We really need some words, Angel. You can tell me you're ready to do your art. Can Miss Mandy sit in here and you can say one word and let Buddy say the next word? Or you can say two of the words and let Tiffany say two of the words? Words are the last two words. Okay, sit up, please. We need to work. Sweetie, sit up. Sit up. We got to work on our words. Okay, I need some words from you. I need some words. I know you can give me words.
Start and finish.
I play the turn
start?
We have that.
We have to use some words, baby. We have to use some words. I know you can give me words. Okay? I know you can give me words. When you finish working out the words with Miss Karen, then you can go to Daddy's lap. Finish business with me. You need to finish business with me. I know it's hard, honey. But look, Taja, sit up, please. Look, Miss Mandy, Miss Kristen, Miss Tiffany. You want to do what, baby? Those are good words. Tell me you want to do what? Turn around, please. No, sir, we're not done. We're not done. I don't want to ask. You don't want to ask? Then can you give me words about what you'd like to do? I need words, not just a phone. You want what? You want to do art? Excellent. Excellent. So what do you need for art? Just make a guess, and we'll find it. Paint? You got it. That's great words. I can do that. I can do that. So do you know where paint is? All right. We got 10 minutes till my group, okay? You gonna go paint? All right. Hey, let me see eyes. Words. If you give people words, they can always help you, okay? But if you just fold up, we don't know what you need, right? Is that right? Yeah. All right.
Sometimes it's scary because you're not sure that you'll get what you want, but we don't know. We're just guessing.
We're trying.
So in that situation, the bar is quite high. You can see several times I insisted that she sit up. Now, sitting up was easier for her than giving me words. So I pressed the body to be matching me. I pressed her to give me eyes and to sit up. I also tried to ask her to sit up so that she didn't use her father as an escape. Parents should be comfort, and at times of danger, they can be escape. But in this situation, I needed her to stay present with me. So I pressed her to sit up. I pressed her to let me hold her hands. I pressed her to give me eyes. And I gave her opportunities to use her words. And I said, you can say one word, Buddy will say one word for you. You can say 2 words, Buddy can say 2 words for you, but I need to have some words. So if you watch that, you'll see the bar went up, the bar went down. I was looking for where she could be successful. You will also notice that on a couple of occasions, I used a challenge to her, which is, can you regulate yourself, or do you need Miss Karyn to regulate you? So what I wanted her to know, she's actually been in a containment on a number of occasions because when she couldn't get what she needed and she would use words, ultimately she would become aggressive. And so what I want her to know is I need for her to regulate herself and tell me what she needs. She wanted to go to her daddy for comfort, and I said, you can go to daddy right after you give me words. You need to finish business with Miss Karyn first. And finally, this beautiful, precious girl, it was hard for her. It was very, very hard for her. But she said art and paint, and that was enough. Now, we didn't ask her for a whole sentence. With another child in another situation where words weren't so hard, I might have pressed for a whole sentence, but that was enough for this child. So here's what we want to remember when we have a child in a meltdown. What is the driver? What is the unmet need is what I'm asking. How do I meet that need? How do I give that child their voice and the belief that we will meet their need? How do I engage and let the child know that she's safe and that her words matter? It's not about dominating a child, and it's not about getting our way. It's about teaching a child that they're precious and valuable, and that their words given to safe people will make a difference in their lives.